evening. This is Monday, January 28th, 281 days until the 2008 presidential election, and 47 years and 8 days since John Fitzgerald Kennedy guaranteed himself, if he had not guaranteed that place previously, a place among America's greatest political speakers of all time. And so, my fellow Americans, he said at his inauguration 47 Januaries ago, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man. It can be argued that since President Kennedy's assassination, this nation, a large part thereof at least, has sought a successor. Some saw the late leader's younger own brother as that man. For a time after his death in 1968, the last of the Kennedy brothers, Ted, was considered. Today, in our fifth story in the countdown, accurately or not, successfully or not, this marked the second stage of a campaign to present Senator Barack Obama of Illinois as that successor. Two generations of Kennedys, the senator, Ted Kennedy, his niece, Caroline, his son, Patrick, all joining Senator Obama on stage before a packed crowd at American University this afternoon. Those close to Senator Kennedy saying that despite a long friendship with the Clintons, he had been frustrated with recent campaign tactics, appalled at what he saw as attacks on Senator Obama, especially by Bill Clinton. In his remarks today, Senator Kennedy seeking to refute the distortions one by one, beginning with Senator Obama's stance on the war in Iraq.
From the beginning, he opposed the war in Iraq. And let no one deny that truth.
Senator Kennedy also taking on the charge of Senator Obama's perceived lack of experience, undercutting one of Senator Clinton's main claims in the process, and doing so almost verbatim.
I know that he's ready to be president on day one.
Senator Obama, meantime, drawing a link to the Kennedys that many had not known about before, making them responsible for his very existence, stating that his father never would have made it from Kenya to the United States, never would have met his mother, had it not been for the Kennedys' philanthropic efforts.
Part of what made it possible for him to come here was an effort by the young senator from Massachusetts at the time, John F. Kennedy, and by a grant from the Kennedy Foundation to help Kenyan students pay for travel. So it is partly because of their generosity that my father came to this country. And because he did, I stand before you today, inspired by America's past, filled with hope for America's future, and determined to do my part in writing our next great chapter.
In other endorsement news, not as big a headline, but perhaps greater symbolism. The author who famously named Bill Clinton the, quote, first black president is backing Senator Obama to be the second. Toni Morrison explaining that her endorsement is based not on Senator Obama's race, but rather on his personal gift, saying of Mr. Obama, quote, in addition to keen intelligence, integrity, and a rare authenticity, you, Obama, exhibit something that has nothing to do with age, experience, race, or gender, and something I don't see in other candidates. That something is a creative imagination, which, coupled with brilliance, equals wisdom. It is too bad if we associate it only with gray hair and old age, or if we call searing vision naivete. Wisdom is a gift. You can't train for it, inherit it, learn it in a class, or earn it in the workplace. That access can foster the acquisition of knowledge, but not wisdom. Senator Clinton brushing off the Kennedy endorsements today in a conference call with reporters, saying, quote, at the end of the day, this is not about anyone else other than the candidates. Her campaign trying to blunt the impact of the endorsements by instructing surrogates in a memo of talking points to stress that 3 of Robert Kennedy's children are supporting Senator Clinton at a campaign event in western Massachusetts. Senator Clinton shifting her focus from her chief rival in the race for the White House to the man already in the White House, President Bush.
The day may be beautiful and the heavens are smiling on us because tonight will be the last time George Bush ever gives a State of the Union speech.
Senator Clinton also stressing those attributes that Senator Obama does not and never will have.
I will bring to the White House my perspective as a daughter, as a wife, as a mother, because that's never been in the White House before.
At this point, let's call in our own Craig Crawford, also, of course, columnist at CQPolitics.com. Craig, good evening.
Hi.
Clearly, and again, who's to say now if the analogy will be ultimately apt or ultimately embarrassing? But obviously this effort, starting with Carolyn Kennedy Schlossberg's op-ed in the New York Times on Sunday, is to anoint Obama as the heir to the Kennedys, specifically JFK. This is obviously underway. Are there further steps? Is the goal here eventually like a JFK would have voted for Obama construction, as silly as that might sound, saying it aloud?
And what would Jackie say? I think what's going to matter here, Keith, is when they take this road show out to the country, do they have enough time for this to truly make a difference? Obama could win this thing, but he might run out of time. It's short, the time is. And so getting them out on the road, it was a very effective road show today, I thought, if that's what we see in the coming days around the country. Senator Clinton might want to get her buddy, the majority leader of the Senate, to keep the Senate very busy over the next few days and hope Ted Kennedy can't get out on the road too much.
Practically, the endorsements are of use where? Blue-collar Democrats, Hispanic voters? Is that the estimation here?
Yeah, Latino voters, when Hillary Clinton got the United Farm Workers endorsement, which, of course, goes back to the Cesar Chavez, that was a very big blow to both Edwards and Obama. This might neutralize that to some extent. The Hispanic, Latino voters, absolutely. Blue-collar workers, older voters. I think the demographic that Ted Kennedy brings to Obama here is one that Senator Clinton has been getting, which is older voters, older women in particular. But I think what we have is a fascinating and very clear choice for Democratic voters in the tension between the Clintons and the Kennedys. Senator Kennedy is the liberal lion, the liberal wing of the party, the idealist. The Clintons are the pragmatists. And they would argue the winning wing of the party, who have won elections, the only Democrats to win 2 terms in the White House who are alive today. So that will be the choice they make, and that's why Senator Clinton was talking so much about George Bush. He's trying to remind Democrats, I'm the one who can get elected here. Obama might make you feel good, but at the end of the day, I'm the one who's going to get us all the way to the White House. That's her message anyway.
And the Kennedys' complaints about Bill Clinton, I know you have a perspective on this touchstone moment from over the weekend, the Jesse Jackson answer. I want that perspective, and I have a question for you. Let's play the tape first once more.
Mm-hmm. What does it say about Barack Obama that it takes 2 of you to beat him?
That's just debate, too. Jesse Jackson won South Carolina twice, in '84 and '88. And he ran a good campaign, and Senator Obama's run a good campaign here.
Craig, you saw that as race-free.
Yes, I think the Clintons had every right to make an argument in that election in South Carolina that the black vote is the reason Senator Obama won that race. I thought Senator Obama directly appealed to black voters to win South Carolina, going back to when his own wife said, Black America will wake up someday. The media, in constantly talking about how historic it is for Senator Obama to be a viable African American, that makes him the black candidate. So race was already injected into this race, in my view, Keith. The Clintons didn't put it there, and it was a political reality that they were dealing with.
But why not play it safe there? Why not instead of traipsing along that edge that so many people will, rightly or wrongly, interpret as a racial reference or an attempt to marginalize what Obama did in South Carolina, why not say, hey, John Edwards did a great job here in South Carolina in 2004, hasn't won a primary since. Wouldn't that have just been safer and still gotten the point across?
Bill Clinton is a very competitive man. He wants to win. He wanted to explain why he didn't win. And that goes back to what I was saying before. The Clintons see themselves as the winners in the Democratic Party. The Kennedys are the idealists. And that tension is going to play out throughout this race, Keith. And I think at the end of the day, that's the choice Democrats have to make. The difference between idealism and pragmatism. Pragmatists like the Clintons believe that what works is right. The Kennedys believe that what's right works, and that's the choice Democrats have to make.
Craig Crawford of MSNBC and SueKeyPolitics.com, as always. Thank you, Craig.